Hello, everybody, and I'm welcoming you to another episode of Strong, Grounded, Unstoppable, which is what we ladies aim to be, sometimes are, and want to help and support and encourage you to be that too, because it feels so good. Today, I am super blessed and delighted to welcome Christine Lester, who is, I don't know what else to say, but an amazing woman. When I looked at her LinkedIn profile, I thought, oh my God, why would she want to have anything to do with me? I will tell you a little bit about her, but first of all, welcome, Christine.
Thank you, Susie.
It's really, we've just had a fit of the giggles, by the way, but you know what? Laughter is the best medicine, and when it's shared, it's even better. The reason I say that Christine is amazing, I'm going to put my specs on because I've got a little bit about her here. She set up West Midlands Tomorrow Limited. She's a project development manager to support schools, colleges, universities, European and global funding. She does volunteer business support. I mean, this is from 26 years ago. From February, she does volunteer business support, community engagement and bid writing. Now, Christine is an expert bid writer for funding, and I'll come back to that later. But for nearly 32 years, Minster Development Centre, I think, is your baby, as it were. You're the chief executive there. And this is all about learning and development of people and their organizations. And you have done some amazing things. So, Christine, before we go into your career, your fabulous career, do you mind if we go back? I always am fascinated by people's young life, their childhood, because so much of that it doesn't define who we become as adults, but I can't think of the right word. Can you think of the right? It creates some of who we are, the nature and nurture thing. And so many times we need it not to define us. So we need to do the work to make our lives better than they could have been, perhaps. So do you mind if we go back? Because the other thing is that people's childhoods often give the work that we're doing now as adults meaning. It's part of the cause. So if you're okay going back there, let's do that.
That's absolutely me. Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. My father was a RAF man, and discipline was his word. He even had a way of saying my name, and I knew immediately to stand to attention. He had a way of saying Christine.
Yes. Yeah.
It wasn't actually until the latter years of his life, the last 3 years, that I realised that was he was a product of his age, and I hadn't, as a child growing up, I didn't realise that he was a product of the Second World War.
And his occupation,
yes,
the military.
Yeah. Memories. He used to wake up, and again, I didn't understand why, but he used to wake up screaming in the middle of the night, and I'd hear my mother say, it's all right, you're here. And I didn't understand what that meant. And in some ways, I thought everybody's parent must be like that. Everybody's father growing up was the same. But no, he was a product of his father having died in the First World War, and his mother having brought up the three of them on her own with no security benefit. He was clever enough to win a scholarship to a very high class school in Sussex, and that was what got him into the RAF. So yes, he had 27 years in the RAF, and my formative years were in the RAF.
Yes. So you were on camp. He wasn't away all that time. You were all in quarters.
I didn't know him. I didn't even meet him until he came home from the Second World War.
Wow.
So by that time I was 5,
wow.
nearly 5. So when they talk about the formative years, I didn't have them. I had my mother.
You were an only child.
No, I had a younger sister,
Oh,
but she wasn't born till after the war,
right.
and the way she was brought up was different to mine.
Mm,
Um, Even now, she doesn't understand that our upbringing was different. So
mm,
therefore, I am as I am because
mm,
of that upbringing.
mm.
So I have faults um, and always wanting to please father.
Oh, yes.
Always.
Yes.
He used to study my school reports infinitely, every word, and he would sit there for maybe a couple of hours. And I do remember him saying, French. Wow. And I thought that was a
Good, good.
compliment,
It's a good
yeah.
word. Yes.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
him. He wasn't interested in maybe the English literacy and that we did then. It was the fact that I excelled at French, and now I can hardly speak a word of it.
Mm.
I've forgotten it all. No,
At least
to
you
get
got a wow from him.
his approval. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But I never felt I was good enough.
Oh, I
I
think
never.
that's part
No.
of our generation, because I think the things were changing. Freedom was coming,
Yes.
1960s, and that kind of do as you
Yeah.
are told
Yes.
started to change, and liberation started to
Yes.
happen. I mean, I was born in 1958. Through the 1960s, I was still a child, but you were very much aware of it. Things perhaps that came on the television, and yeah, women were starting to be and feel much freer and more liberated
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
and obviously go out to work because they'd had to in the war. And that's changed an awful lot of things for women.
Didn't
But
it? Yes.
how old were
Yeah.
you when your father died?
I was married by then.
Right.
He was lucky enough to live into his 80s, into
Mm,
I think it was about 85,
mm, mm,
and mother was nearly the same age because she
mm.
died 3 years after him.
Did
My
you,
mother
did,
again was an example of her time. Mother never spoke unless she was spoken to
oh my
by
goodness.
him, and she was
Yeah.
very much under his thumb,
Yes.
so she never disagreed with him. I did.
And yeah,
Yes.
I mean, this is so interesting because so many people it will resonate with, and I'm so glad things have changed because I was told by a healer that I was suppressed when I was growing up. I wasn't just obedient, but I was suppressed.
I was. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes, I was.
bloody hell, that's not much fun, is it? And we are so not now. And I think
No,
maybe,
no.
now we are really
Yeah.
rebelling. And
Children
but
growing up now, they don't know how
oh
easy it is, do they?
no,
I think often I found out when I was doing family history that my grandmother was a suffragette,
wow,
and I thought now I take after her, but
yes,
unknowingly, yes, she rebelled against everything that she should have been, and that was
yeah,
in the 1914,
brilliant,
after the
bravo
war.
her,
Yeah,
yeah,
so yeah, I realised now I'm so like her, but
yeah,
I didn't realise that.
no,
But yes, it all makes you, I think, what you are.
mm,
Women were never expected to go into business.
mm, mm.
And I wanted to go to university, and my father said no. He said, "I'll pay for you to go to university. You'll get married. You'll have children, and I won't get my money back."
Oh gosh, but so it's not just it's about the education and the rounding and the grounding. So did you ever go to university?
No. Yeah, I did. I did in the mature years.
So
In
did
my
I.
40s,
Yeah.
my 40s, I went to university, and
What
I
did you
loved it.
do?
I
Yeah.
loved it. I did open learning.
Yes.
Um, I didn't get to do a degree, but I did went to Staffordshire University and
Yes.
did open learning there.
Yes. Because you're
Um,
all about learning. You're such a giver as well. You're all about learning, aren't you,
mm,
Christine?
yes,
So the Minster Development Centre tell us about that and why 32 years ago nearly you formed that. What was the drive behind
I
that?
was again. My father said the best thing I could do was to go to Woolworths and serve
Be
You know,
a
that would
cashier.
be the limit of my expectation. So it was quite a few years. I wish he'd been still alive, actually.
Oh,
He was alive when I formed Minster, but Minster at that time wasn't very well known, and he would have probably decried it and said, well, you know, it's only a little outfit, you know, that she happens to be running. So I don't think he ever really understood.
no.
And he certainly didn't make the link between me forming an association about learning and feeling a lack of learning in my childhood.
Yes, yes.
That connection
And
wasn't
what
there
what
to
you've
him.
also done is global. So when you set that up, did you set it up on your own?
No, I got into teaching, would you believe, by a wonderful lady who saw something in me, and she said, "I want you to teach." And I said, "But what am I going to teach?" And she said, "You'll teach what you know," which is
Mm-hmm.
business administration. I had helped partnerships, worked in partnerships, and helped them to develop their business, but never thought of me developing mine. And she saw that in me, and I said, you know, but I'm not qualified. And she said, well, I send you to college. So she did, and I got
Oh,
a teaching qualification.
fabulous.
So,
Fabulous.
so
Because you
all of a sudden,
have, yes, such a
I was
good
all of a sudden
brain.
getting what I'd always wanted.
Thank
Took me a long
goodness.
time.
Yes, and it was a woman who I'm
Yes.
not completely anti-men, but you know,
No.
it's hard and it's hard it was hard for these men because also military men, and I married two of them, one at a time. They they are of a certain type or they become a certain type. And you know, it's very, very much drummed into them. And
Yes.
I used to say to the father of my girls when my eldest daughter was 3, I'd say, she's 3, not 13. She's not one of your soldiers, you know, but it comes naturally to them. Anyway,
But
getting
my mother
back.
never said that. You see, my mother never said, my
Never.
mother was just meek,
Yes.
doormat, you know, very
Oh,
meek, mild.
yes.
And she said in later life, she did say, we were talking one day about jealousy, and dad had died by then. And she said, well, I was jealous of you. And
Oh.
I said, well, why? She said, but because you could talk to him, you could be on his level.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never
Oh.
realised that.
Oh, that's so
But anyway,
sad.
you wanted to ask me about business.
Yes. The because I want this to sort of lead up to what brilliantly and wonderfully you and I are just getting underway. Um, so I love the fact that you are such a giver, and you developed this Minster Development Centre to aid learning and development, but you also are or became an expert bid writer, and you've worked all across Europe with multi-millions, and to me that's wow. So how did you, not just business and learning, but do you need to be good at maths? I've never met a bid writer before.
You do need to have a certain maths because when you put in the bid, you have to put in an accompanying budget
Mm-hmm.
exactly, and it has to be in European terms. It has to be right down to the last euro. You know
Okay.
what you're going to spend over the 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
If it comes back that you spend more than that, then that comes out of your pocket. So you've got to be clear on what your budget's going to be when you
Yes.
put in the bid.
Yes.
But yes, you do need to have somebody. I mean, the good thing about bid writing is you don't do it on your own. You do it with collaboration. So
Mm-hmm.
you usually have a group of people who are going to help you, and it's
Okay.
usually those people that then go on to become your partners.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
your partners for the project.
So tell
So
us
they all
about
bring
one of
different
the,
skills.
right. Okay. You did a multi-million euro European bid for funding.
I did about 20 of them
Oh my word.
over the years.
Wow.
Sort of got the bug, and I went to start off with, I went to a conference in Spain, which is about just learning about what Europe has to offer. And I was lucky enough to meet the chairman the night before, who happened to be
Chairman
staying
of.
at the hotel. And, we had dinner together, and she was asking me all sorts of questions. And then next morning, a horror, I realised she was the chairman of the conference.
What
It
was
was
the conference on?
it was about meeting people from other countries in Europe. There were members there from all the 27 countries, about 400 people.
So community and collaboration. And this was before Brexit?
Well before Brexit and before I wrote my first bid, because the very first, these people queued up at coffee time. It's an awful long story. But these people all queued up at coffee time and said, oh, will you come and do a project with us? Well, you can only do one project when you start out. They want one project to see how you get on with it. So the very first one I did was about vocational education with about 5 other countries. Only Holland had got the same experience as we had, and the other people were just thinking about vocational education. So they wanted to learn from us, basically. So that was quite a good project. We got quite good marks for that. At the same time, I did another project with a Spanish leader, and that was about women into networking, would you believe? And this was long before social media and before LinkedIn and all that. So it was about women actually becoming a network so that they collaborate and help each other to grow.
Fantastic.
What we're doing now, isn't it? We form a group and help each other together.
Did you feel very brave going to Spain and doing these things, or because you have such a lovely, calm, intelligent, gentle authority about you? You know, I know you really do know what you're doing. So what was that like?
That was the first time I'd gone without my husband for a start, or my father. But yes, I booked the plane. It was Monarch Airlines. I remember that.
Yes.
And because I was on my own, the hostess was lovely to me. You know, I sat in the front seat with her. So it was lovely, but I did feel, oh gosh, you know, what's going to happen here? Is this a journey too far, or what's going to happen? But as it happened,
were you one of few women, or was there a decent
no, it was about
percentage?
I think the very first project I did, there was only one man, and the rest of us were in our group, and the rest were women.
Is that because it was about learning and development?
He was a bit like my father, actually. He was quite authoritarian. So every now and again I had to pop up and put the UK perspective there, because it was all about him and you know, Holland, what they were doing. So you know, sometimes you have to sort of it's managing people. You know, sometimes you have to be quite quiet and sit back and listen.
Yes.
Other times you have to put your view forward, otherwise why are you there?
Yes.
European projects and working in that way, it does teach you again something completely different, because you're not in an organization, you're not managing the process, so you're actually at their behest.
Yes.
What they think it should be.
Okay.
But I loved it. I just love collaborating with people.
Yes, and that's brilliant. If you love what you're doing, you're going to go forth with it and do it well. And so I had the pleasure of meeting you. This is the power of podcasts, actually, because I had the pleasure of meeting you through Payman with his podcast, Leaders with a Heart, with his podcast Academy. I did the challenge and then I did the academy, and you were doing it at the same time. And Payman is another force for good, I have to say. But I didn't realize where this would take us, but trusting the process. What happened was that, and this is audience listeners, how when you just do something, even if you don't know what the outcome will be, just do it because it seems like a good thing to do or interesting or whatever, go for it. Okay. So I did the podcast academy, and Christine was on the academy, and we got on. And then I was invited to be an associate of hers, which was great. And I thought, oh, how can I contribute? So I said, I know a woman who's the CEO of a charity in Birmingham who looks after women who support women who are suffering from and recovering from domestic abuse. And Christine said, "Oh, I know Marcia." So, hallelujah, heavens, serendipity, meant to be, thank you, universe. Marcia and Christine and I have been Zooming because we're setting up with Christine. It was Christine's suggestion. I know nothing about all this. I did know about CICs, but we are setting up a CIC, a community interest company, to specifically to support women of 20 plus who are suffering from or recovering from domestic abuse. Now, this is very true to my heart because I've had every kind of domestic abuse in the past. And excuse me, I have been in the last few years to a number of incredible meetings all around this. One was hosted by Lady Lansdowne, the Queen's, one of the Queen's companions. And she was amazing. And the statistics that are given at these meetings are shocking. And so when Christine came along, all of a sudden, with the idea, her idea of having a CIC, which meant that you're doing the bidding for funding, and then I'm going to be able to deliver as a facilitator to these women who need us and get paid for it. And so for me, hallelujah, because money has always been an issue. I've cleared my money blocks, but now I think this is really where my heart lies, alongside the mastering mental toughness and the resilience and the confidence and the deep empowerment for women. And I am so blessed that Christine is alongside me with this, because, well, look at her, and listen to her. She's such an amazing, calm, intelligent woman. And you have a quiet authority as well, Christine. Your father would have been so amazed by you and proud of you if he had been able to feel those feelings, so thank you for being.
I still think now at my age, I just wish I'd started earlier. So I'd say to anybody nowadays, start as soon as you start to have those feelings. I want to make a difference.
Exactly.
So start now. Don't wait till you're 40 odd like me.
No.
Do it now.
Yes, and I also feel one of my little phrases, because of my age and doing what I'm doing now, not most, but many women would be retired, is that it's never too late. It's also never too early, but it's never too late. No. So what are your feelings about putting your expertise and going with me alongside this journey for women who are suffering from domestic abuse? You were never abused, were you? It was just...
No, but I think it was a form of mental abuse.
Yeah, and that's bad, because those scars are invisible.
Then men didn't realise that they were doing it.
No. No, but it has impact.
It does. It makes you feel you have to prove something.
Yes.
To be worth something. But you have to prove yourself over and over again.
Especially as a girl and a woman, do you think, even now still? And yeah, and that's a shame. But I also think that we are hardwired to want or need our parents' approval. And in my Mastering Mental Toughness program, the 5-week fast track, there's a page about releasing ourselves as adults from the need of our parents' approval, because I needed my mother's approval even as an adult, and because that was because of the way she was, I've just got my book here. If I can make Lady Lansdowne, I'll put these up. In severe violence, this is in the UK with domestic abuse, 2 women a week are killed. Domestic abuse is 17% of all recent crime, and 75% of women who suffer that abuse, it's repeated and repeated. 117 crimes per hour on DA, or 2 a minute. And this is the sad thing, 28% of children under 18 live where an adult is abused.
In an abusive situation, yeah.
And this is what really got me. It takes 2.5 years for a woman to report serious abuse against her. That's where, with my resilience training and mentoring, this is where I want to really make a difference for women, is to empower and enable them not to put up. Now, I know it's really hard and it's not simple, but if we can start to grow a little seed of resilience and then develop that, obviously it has to be planned and they have to be ready and there has to be other external support.
And yeah, I was just going to say they need somebody like us who've been through it, who can say, look, you can do this.
Yes.
You can. You have to believe in yourself. But you know, somebody has to, you know, I think of back people in my life who said, you could do this, Christine. Just because you haven't been to university doesn't mean to say you can't start a business. You know, so somebody has to believe in you. And the more there are like us who can believe in somebody else and lift them up, that's the power.
Perfect.
That's making the difference.
It is the power, because again, one of the things I say, I am here to believe in you until you are able to believe in yourself. And so that's part of mentoring, but it's a really deep, firm, embedded belief, because everything is authentic. Because, yeah, as you say, we've been through so much and learned a lot of what I've put into this program, Mastering Mental Toughness, apart from having a qualification as a licensed mental toughness assessor and practitioner. 6 months of developing the program, 2 more years to hone it. But quite frankly, I suddenly sat back and I thought, you know what? It's a lifetime, a whole lifetime, and of the suffering. And what I'm hoping is that I've done a lot of the suffering in the past, and you, so that when other women are working with us, they don't have to, because it's not much fun and life is too short. So we have 7 minutes left. Guys, we've gone on to Zoom because Christine, and this will resonate with you, some of you, is having awful computer problems at the moment. And so it just wasn't playing. So we're recording this on Zoom. But you know what? That doesn't matter. We didn't let it beat us. We just thought, okay, we'll be flexible.
And obstacles are there to be climbed over. Yes.
And to teach us. Actually, I love coming back to Payman. One of the lovely things that he used to say, and I think it's so powerful, is when you have a really hard time and, you know, you're thinking, why me? Why is this happening to me? Stop and ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson I need to learn from this? So completely flips or pivots it. And it's such a powerful question to ask, or 2 questions to ask ourselves.
Yes.
And so,
and in my in teaching, we call it evaluation and feedback, and looking at what you're delivering and saying after the first session, what did I learn from that? And what do I need to adapt before we go on to session 2?
Yes.
And I think, again, it's very simple. It's very similar in what you're describing and the teaching role. The teaching role is quite often also to motivate as part of you. If you're not a motivator, you haven't really got all your teaching skills. So to be able to motivate someone is the same as, in your term, lifting them up. Lifting them up is to motivate.
Yes.
So yes.
And I could come back to the fact that we just love what we do, and therefore there's going to be that feeling of inspiration and motivation, and we show up.
Saying to me, why haven't you retired? Even my own family say, you know, why are you still doing what you're doing? Why haven't you retired? You know, go while the going's good. And I say, I don't want to. No. I'm having the time of my life.
Why would you? We've got lots of work to do.
buttermilk. Nobody you're going to talk to, Annie. Yes, I've started to talk to her, and that's what our little group is about. You know, it's about us exchanging knowledge between ourselves,
Yes.
but it's also about encouraging others to come in.
Yes.
Come in and let us help them.
Yes.
You know,
And that's the beauty of podcasts and chatting and just having a conversation that we can then open up to other people to share and listen to and glean something from it. So yeah, thank you, Christine, so much. We'll be in touch about the next stage of the CIC. And I hope you didn't do any work over the weekend. I hope you did spend some time, you know.
No, I didn't. I'm still trying to sort passwords out and where they are and why I haven't got them. And
that is agony, actually, with the technical thing. But fingers crossed you'll get it sorted soon.
I'll keep trying. I keep trying.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's been lovely having a chat.
Oh, it has been lovely. And we'll be back. This won't be the only time that Christine and I appear in your ears or on your screen. So
no, I'd love to talk about the content of those projects that I did.
Yes.
Nobody's asked me about that yet.
Oh, awesome. Right. We'll book that one in because that'll be so interesting. So now we know roughly what you do and why you do it. But yes, I am so in awe of these massive multi-million euro European funding things that you do. It's like, what, your documents must be like this, or is it all on the computer? And
no, it's my, that's why I've got such great computer problems at the moment. There's 40 years worth of work on the computer.
Oh my Lord.
And when I look at them now and I'll go into a file and a folder and it says folder empty, I think, what?
Oh, Christine.
It's all backed up. It's backed up in the cloud. It's backed up on an external drive.
Right. Thank goodness.
I don't see what else I could have done.
No.
It says file empty. I think, oh my God.
This is our, worst case scenario. So I'll try and think of anybody who could. There must be someone out there who can.
Well, while my great techie blokes that I rely on, he did about 16 hours on it, and then he said, I can't do any more. And he said, in fairness, I can't do any more than I've done. He said, I can't see a way through it. And 24 hours later, I kept trying, and I got a complete set of passwords back. He couldn't. So
wow. Oh, you are amazing. And on that note, I'm going to thank you. Well, exactly. That's what part of resilience is. Never, ever, ever give up. Even if you are momentarily down there on the ground, get up and, and carry on.
Passwordless.
I've got all mine written in a book, and Damien goes mad with me. He says, don't you want to, put them on a keychain or whatever? I said, no, I just want them in my little book.
So wait to see them. Yeah, there's something to be said for that. Yeah. All right, take care. Thank you ever so much for a wonderful session.
Oh, it's been brilliant. Just stay on for 2 ticks. Thank you, Christine, so much for being here, for being you, and for doing what you do. Absolutely amazing. And it's just my delight to now have you in my life. And I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have, please subscribe, like, share, and take care, everybody. And we'll be back again soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.
Bye.